Welcome to episode 25 of 1530. My name is Ben.
My name's Matt.
All right. We're going to talk about stat of the day. Well, first, we'll go ahead and give you an overview for the episode. So right now, the Australian Open is underway. Gone through 2 rounds of tennis almost. Been some pretty good tennis so far. Lots of 5-setters, some big upsets already, and then some great statistics. We also want to talk about one of the greatest players who's played at the Australian Open, who has the most titles, and the stats that set him apart. And another player who kind of mirrors him and has always been compared to him, but he hasn't won any Australian Open title. It's over 4 in finals. We'll discuss those players and just the interesting statistics around that. But we'll start off with the stat of the day. So we have the stat of the day for Novak Djokovic in the second round. He took on a Japanese player that I hadn't heard of before. Last name is Ito. And Novak was very dominant on serve. So these are some of the numbers. So he won 93% of his first serve points. So pretty ridiculously high. 77% on his second serve points. And then to top it off, he had a great first serve percentage of 72%. So compare that with Novak's career average for first serve point 1. He is closer to, at least on hard courts, high 70s, low 80s. And that second serve point is closer to the 50s. So obviously, if Novak keeps up numbers like this, he'll be impossible to beat. Kind of a statistical aberration, I think, but just showing you that he has some great form going into his favorite tournament. And so that's leading to our next point, that Novak Djokovic is that player. He's won 7 Australian Opens. Federer has won 6. Last year, he broke the tie with Federer, and he stands alone as the man who has the most Australian Open titles. Just amazing. He seems to just play so well at the start of the year when so many players are hungry, but just Novak kind of shuts them out. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's interesting. I think for whatever reason, Novak just is really able to center himself at the beginning of the year and comes out and plays hard. He dropped a set in the first round. I don't think that means anything, but he did. He dropped a set. So. But no, yeah, he's a dominant player, especially in Australia. So it's good to see that the bushfires haven't caused inequality. They've been able to play. Save, I think, for some of their qualifying matches, they've been able to play without any major problems. Even got some rain over there. Had delays from that, but not from the bushfire, so that was good. But no, yeah, I mean, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I agree that I thought the wildfire was going to be more of a factor. It was in the news pretty much constantly. The players talking about how the tournament, they're not putting the player's health at the forefront, especially during the first few qualifying rounds. But then once the main draws got underway, like you're saying, kind of got blessed with some rain there. And so I think it's really dissipated the smoke. Conditions haven't looked bad from the TV, and I haven't heard any complaints or any news of stoppage of play. So really glad that the fires aren't affecting the players and aren't affecting the tournament right now. Really great. And then not to mention all the players coming up with all their different ways of donating money, right? Did you hear Sarah said, if I win every single round, if I win the tournament, I'm going to donate all the money to the bushfire relief fund.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I did not hear that.
Trying to get some crowd, pull here. So I thought that was an interesting tactic. But either way, I think he's still donating a good chunk. But if he wins it all, he'll donate it all. So
yeah, I mean, I think the chances are pretty slim that happens. But
I'm not a favorite, but if I somehow do win the tournament, I'll donate all the money. But people like Kyrgios serve, right? $200 per serve, or per he's been serving.
I did hear that.
So a lot of money to serve. So.
Yep. It is good to see. It's good to see that.
Did you see some of the other players? I think it's Belinda Bencic on the women's side. She was donating $200 per double fault. I thought that was interesting.
But that's weird.
Players getting cheeky. I think it was Simona Halep was like $200 or some amount of money per outburst that a coach, Gary Cahill, the commentator, it's like, oh man,
for what?
For like $200 per outburst at her coach.
Oh no.
And then like, yeah, she's already had around 10 of those. Like, oh, geez.
Well, whatever works, right?
Yeah, so it's
Make
been a
it
great
fun for
tournament.
the fans.
I guess, Matt, are there any players you're watching in particular at the top tournament?
Just going back to the normal, usual, seeing if the young guns can step up and do anything in the new year. We've seen some fall out already. The Canadians, Pavlov, and I think Agar Aliasime is out as well already.
Yeah, he lost
Tsitsipas. Yeah. So Tsitsipas is still in, and a couple of those others. Zverev is still hanging around, I think. But yeah, and then obviously you go back. I want to see Rafa do well, and had a rough first set of his first match, but took care of business from then on out, and looked to be playing well. Fed seems to be taking care of business. Joke, as we said, I mean, with numbers like the stat of the day, you're not going to be losing many matches, to say the least. So.
Yeah, I wanted to read you on ultimatetennisstats.com. They had who they thought were or I guess based on ELO, not who they, the algorithm stats, who the favorites are. So they have Novak Djokovic, I think rightly, as a favorite, 32% chance to win the match early in the tournament. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. It's a 1 in 3 chance. Pretty high, but probably appropriate. Nadal, pretty close behind at 30%. And then Federer kind of way down there at 21%, which maybe on ELO I'd agree, but I think Federer has a pretty easy path, at least to the semifinals. He doesn't, based on these upsets, he's not going to have to face anyone seeded until I believe the semis, or maybe the quarters. He was going to maybe have to see some seeded players in the 3rd or 4th rounds, but Shapovalov's been upset, and other players have been upset. So he has an easier path than he's been shown, but maybe he's taking into account his semifinal matchup with Djokovic. And then 4th favorite, you want to hazard a guess on who the 4th favorite is?
The 4th favorite, I don't know. Maybe, is it RBA? No.
He is not RBA. He's been playing some good tennis as well. So who
is it?
They have Medvedev, so they kind of follow the rankings.
Medvedev,
obviously a good player. I don't know. I think it's tricky with, besides the top 3, I think it's kind of a toss-up. I could see Tsitsipas, Medvedev, even teams playing great on hard courts these days. So Medvedev at 7%, so pretty low on the list there. Just shows it's a big 3 tournament, especially doubles.
Sure. So. Everybody's well rested and ready to go.
Exactly.
I think that benefits the big 3.
Any super good matches that you want to talk about? Any good 5-setters or anything that were crazy?
I have nothing to contribute in that area. I haven't been able to watch any of it. So
yeah,
and I've seen scores. Some matches that look like probably they were good, but I have not been able to.
Yeah, last night I was able to actually stay up late. My work schedule, so it was good. The Dimitrov Tommy Paul match was pretty awesome. It was a 5th set tiebreak. I really enjoy the 10-point tiebreak. It makes it kind of intense instead of having to wait for a break late. Pretty nice. And Tommy Paul was actually up 2 sets to love, and then Dimitrov came back for the 5th, and Dimitrov was serving for the match. And Tommy Paul kid, I didn't know he was 22. I feel like that's a little older than I thought he would be. The boys, former French Open boys champion. The U.S. French Open boys champion. That's pretty amazing. He's plays well, but some big shots. And Dimitrov fortunately got tight when he tried to serve it out, and then Tommy Paul just kind of hung in there and won it. He'd been on the Challenger Tour, so he was not used to playing best of 5. So by far his longest match, it was 4.5 hours. But that was fantastic. Berrettini lost in 5 to Sandgren, and it's another 5-setter. There was the Opelka Fognini. Fognini, the great shot maker, came back 2 sets to love down. So some of these Americans need to win the match when they're up 2 sets to love. I think Matthew McDonald also had that issue. So I don't know, easier said than done, I'm sure, but we would have a lot more Americans in the next round. And they just held on. Big 11 is able to rally from that to become. So it's been a fun tournament so far. Looking forward to the matches. Stan's been playing, pretty good. So happy there and that he got through 4 first round. He played, but yeah, it's been a fun tournament. But let's go ahead and transition and talk about these two players are kind of mirror images of each other, right? They've been kind of forever linked. Their birthdays are only a week apart. They've played many, many times, right? And their style is so similar, especially their backhand, the way that they move. Traditionally, was the very defensive players. Of course, Novak has really upped his offensive game, and Murray did it. The other player, Murray, was more offensive than he was the number one player in the world. So, I don't know. Any thoughts on Novak and Murray and how similar their games really are? We'll go through their statistics. We'll go through their results. But any thoughts on those two players?
Yeah, I mean, the feel that I always got from Murray, especially in his heyday, and from Djokovic, is that they're extremely good at defense and extremely good at turning that defense into offense. And so they can keep themselves in a match, in a point, and take advantage of any mental errors or any mistakes that their opponent might make throughout each point. And so they can get back in and win points that other players may not be able to take, just because they're able to get so many balls back. They're able to really understand where the ball is going to go and where they need to be.
Great. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
It makes it fun watching that defensive next ball kind of retrieval, kind of a counter puncher, but then they've also been able to do it with style. I really appreciate Murray's variety, the balls, and the different shot making he do as well. And we'll look at this match in a minute. I have to run to the bathroom super quick. Sorry. Sorry about that. Emergency.
No worries.
Go ahead. Should we focus for a second here? Sure. Good. I'll just first look at Andy's stats. Now the injury, he's kind of far from where he's at. Or, maybe let's look at Novak's stats.
Yeah.
I guess I can pull up over here.
So Novak's first serve percentage is higher, as well as the second serve win percentage.
Yeah, so now I got 7. Okay. So first serve. So ace, yeah, Murray, I feel like he's always had a little bit of a faster first serve, or at least you get more aces, and then, but Novak's second serve is always way, way better. Murray's second serve is always
Yeah.
First serve percentage higher for Andy by a point. Wait, let's say this side of the right. Turns. both pretty good return guys. 33% close, 55% close. Break points. Wow, the return is like a mirror. Return is 32 versus 31. But then the result overall, Novak has won 82% of the matches compared to 77. So that's small, like 5% difference, 6% difference is the difference between a bunch of titles and only a few titles for Andy. How many sets does he have? He has US, 2 Wimbledons. I think that's it. All right, you ready to do this?
Yeah, ready.
All right, well, let's go ahead and dive into the numbers to compare Novak Djokovic's career numbers to Andy Murray's numbers and see if we can see any similarities, right? We talk about maybe aesthetically or based on the eye test, they look similar in their gameplay, but we want to look at the numbers to see if we can tell the same story. So we'll look at the service game. So, I've always seen that Murray can have higher first serve top speeds usually. You usually get a few more aces. We'll see if that is the case here. So only by like 2% Murray uses 9% versus 7% for Novak in his career. Double fault is about the same at 3%. Novak's first serve percentage is quite a bit higher though. Let's see what that's 6 or 7% first serve percent, 65 versus 58. First serve percent 1 is a little bit higher on Murray's, so it's 74.5 by 73.5 for Novak. 1% better. Second serve points 1, though Novak's better there. He's better by almost 3.5% more. That's significant. The break point saved, Murray's pretty good, 62%, but Novak's a little bit better, 65.5%. And then service points 1 overall, 65% to Novak, 67%. So that small 2% difference in points 1 has led to almost a 4% difference in service game 1. So career Novak's won about 86% of his service games, and Murray 82%. So I think that really weak second serve that Andy's kind of been known to have, unfortunately, that's able to be attacked, has kind of hampered his service points. Because everything on the first serve side looks okay, except for maybe the first serve percentage. So definitely not as good as second serve. It's kind of always been the critique of Andy. Novak has a very solid second serve. Very solid. So let's look at the return. I feel like this is a little bit more showing that mirror image. So we look at ace against, so opponent ace percentage against these two players, 6% for Novak, 5.8%, almost 6% for Murray. Double faults against, 3.5% to about 3.5%, Novak and Murray. First serve, return points 1, 34%, 33.5% for Novak, about the same for Andy Murray, 33.5%. Second serve, return points 1, 55% for Novak, 55% for Murray. Actually, funny, down to the exact number, 55.5, 55.1, and 55.1 for each of them. So these guys really do, on the return game, play very similar. Break points 1, 44% for Novak, not 44% for Murray, a little slightly lower in his. And then return points 1, 42% for Novak overall. And for Murray, it's 41.9, so he's right into 42%. So overall, these guys are winning very similar amounts. So Murray's winning about 31.5% of return games, and Novak's winning 32% of return games. So you look at that overall, okay, so Novak was 4% better on service games won, only 1% better on return games won. How does that translate to results? So you can go down here at the bottom. Novak has won 83% matches won, Murray 77%. So kind of a 6% gap there, and unfortunately in tennis, that 6% can actually be a lot. The difference between, winning, how many Grand Slams does Novak have, right? 15 or 16 slams, to Murray, who's won Wimbledon twice, which is impressive, including a win over Novak in the final 2013. His 2 gold medals, right? One of those was on grass that he beat Novak in Route 2, but only 1 U.S. Open. It's only 3 slams total. And unfortunately, he's winless at the Australian Open. despite having several tries in the finals. I believe it's 4 times. So, yeah, I don't know if there's any thoughts you have on those numbers. Unfortunately, like I said, very, very close on the return side. It's just, I think the serve side kind of magnifies the second serve. Unfortunately, I think it's translated to less titles.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. I think the numbers speak for themselves, and you see that ability of these two to defend their serve is plays a key role, right? It plays a key role for every player, but especially as you're comparing these two, it shows, hey, if you can just do a little bit better on your serve, you got the return game, you can maybe win one more match and keep your run alive in these tournaments and these Grand Slams, and make it to the end and take them home. So yeah, I mean, Djokovic has shown that clearly he's able to win these big tournaments, and he's got what, 2 under his belt? But
He's 3. Yeah.
3, okay.
All 3.
So
yeah. Also, wanted to correct myself. So Murray's actually lost 5 Australian Open finals, not 4. That was 2010, 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2016. And then Djokovic just wanted to clarify, he does have 16 Grand Slams, third most all time, behind Roger at 20 and Rafael Nadal at 19.
gotcha.
But yeah,
There you have it. It's interesting. 4% you wouldn't think would be that big of a deal, but at least in this comparison, it's huge. It's a huge difference. So.
Well, and it just goes to show too, right? It's almost kind of a shame, right, when some of these players who are breakthrough, they're starting to play good. Maybe they're in the juniors, or maybe they're just breaking into the ATP World Tour. And it says, yeah, he's definitely top 10 material or whatever the commentators say. Even if there's talent, it just goes to show you never know, right? Like based on Novak and Murray, they've played each other since they were kids. They've both always been touted as some of the best talents. Won a lot of tournaments early, but again, nothing to be ashamed of. Murray made the world number 1, won 2 gold medals, won 3 slams, but there's a huge difference between him and Novak, right? Novak won 16 slams. Novak overall could win the most slams, if he stays in there long enough. Unfortunately for us better fans than his offense, but the players are so similar, but yet they couldn't be more different in the number of titles. So I think those two, you can't really tell. The guys are all so talented. The stats, they're so close, really, that it's going to be kind of the small things and maybe the X factor of mental toughness of who's going to determine who's the champion. A little bit of luck too, right? You want to be trying to be better Nadal and Djokovic in a draw, maybe, but I think it's just too hard to say which young guys are going to break through.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, we sit here and break down. You can break down as many numbers as you want, as many stats as you want. At the end of the day, they have to go play the game, and you never know what's going to happen on the court.
Exactly, and I was looking for some good numbers for the great match I watched last night, Dimitrov and Tommy Paul. Which Tommy Paul being a 22-year-old, I thought he was younger, but he same thing, right? He won junior French Open title, was kind of touted as the next American thing. He got injured, and I think as well I was hearing the commentators saying that he didn't really take being approached super seriously and kind of struggled with that. So had a lot of things going on. But, I mean, bottom line, though, that match against Dimitrov, if you look at the stats, they're like neck and neck there. The number of points won, there's nothing really stands out on break points or the first serve percentage. It was just Dimitrov had a chance to serve it out, didn't. And then Tommy Paul went down swinging, hit some amazing winners. Some of these huge, I think one of the forehands hit was 104 miles an hour on the stretch, cross court, practice for winner. The stats can't really capture that because we don't traditionally count, how many forehands did he get over 100 miles an hour or anything. But again, the numbers are what they are, like you're saying, but some matches I don't think it comes down to numbers. The players are so similar. It comes down to the moment. Do they seize the moment? Can they not crack mentally? Because if Dimitrov full serve, it's a totally different story. The narrative. But he can get it.
Right.
And the tiebreaker was lopsided. I think same with Gulak that Wimbledon match was better. Federer was better statistically, but he just couldn't get it done in the moment. Unfortunately, that's the story that sticks. So,
yep.
You have to get it done. The stats can only paint so much of the picture. So, there's a limitation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
It's what makes it so fun to watch.
I know, right? And I love tennis. It's one of the few sports where you can be down 2 sets to love and you could have lost from 6-0, 6-0 and come back and win it. Where in football or basketball, if you're down, 50 points equivalent, you're probably not going to come back. But tennis, there's always room. There's injuries. There could be a shift in mentality and mental toughness. There could be you needed some time to get playing better. So it's always fun to watch. That would have been Dimitroff's first 2 sets to love comeback to win it in 5 sets, which of course they didn't get it done. I was kind of surprised that he hadn't had one yet in his career, but it's always fun. I think Murray and Federer, I think, have some of the most. Again, now that mental toughness, they can deal with being 2 sets to look down and still not think about it. Come forward and win it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to a good rest of the Australian Open. I guess just I want to close with one other comment, and maybe you got blown up a little bit on the news because the news likes to take little things for set. But Novak, who's the favorite for this tournament, said this year's Australian Open is wide open. So it really is open because of the young players coming through. And I thought that was interesting coming from him because in the past he's like, I don't want to talk about the new players until they actually do something. But I think he's even recognizing with Tsitsipas being the reigning World Tour Finals champion that these guys are knocking at the door. He says, hopefully we can hold them off again. But I just thought that was interesting that he was finally like, yeah, this year is kind of wide open. And that was interesting coming from him. Don't know premonition there or if he saw something on the practice court. But anyway,
I don't buy it.
He thinks it's wide
I think he's just placating.
Yeah, he may.
I think he's just trying to be nice. I don't.
He does like to be.
Maybe he set a New Year's resolution to be nicer. I don't. I don't see that.
It's open, right? He was like, nope, they haven't. Kind of getting crowded. Yeah. He does want to be liked. That's one thing that annoys him a little bit for person that Roger and Rafa get universal respect. Not him, but he just doesn't get that same level of respect. So.
Yeah, well, I think there are some reasons for that. I think so. But yeah, good for him. I mean, maybe that's good on him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all we have for you today with episode 25. So please visit us, as always, on cognitionsphere.com. Our theme music is brought to us by Kevin MacLeod with excerpts from the song Cool Rock. And until next time, see you on the court.